All right, hey Ruckus Makers, Danny Bauer here. I am so pumped to be talking to you to hopefully be inspiring, encouraging you in 2022. Your mindset is holding you back. That's what today's topic is. We're going to do a live mindset training. Your mindset is holding you back in 2022. And I'll tell you what, to me, the foundation of high level performance, world-class performance really is mindset. If you don't believe me, we can go all the way back to the 1950s, okay? And Earl Nightingale talked about in the first ever motivational sort of spoken word audio book, he called it The Strangest Secret. The Strangest Secret. This was like 1950s, maybe 1953. And what was the strangest secret, according to Earl Nightingale? It's we become what we think about. Your mindset is holding you back in 2022, and it's because what Earl Nightingale said back in 1953 is true. We become what we think about. And if you think, consider it, here's the deal. What you put inside your mind is what you become, right? So you got to be really careful about what those things are that you consume and all that sort of thing. So let me share a couple stories. This first one comes from a great book, which I love, called The Art of Possibility. It's by Benjamin Zander and Rosamund Stone Zander. And they share the story of some marketing folks. They're out there trying to expand their shoe business, right? And they go off into some country in the developing world. And there's two marketing guys. They both sell shoes. They're both in the same developing country, but in different areas. And the most important part, they both see and experience the same thing, but their response is completely different. So the marketing guy number one writes back to the company, okay, sends a text, sends an email to the leaders of the business or whatever, and they say the situation is absolutely hopeless. Nobody here is wearing any shoes. All right. Now, the second marketing guy in the same country, just a different region, same people, same situation, folks with no shoes, he has a different message to send back to the business. And he says, instead of situation hopeless, nobody's wearing shoes, he says, glorious business opportunity. Like, what an opportunity. Nobody's wearing shoes. And I love that story from The Art of Possibility because, again, same type of guy, same business function, same area, same people who don't have shoes, but one says the situation's hopeless. The other says, listen, this is an incredible opportunity. So it's all about how you see things. Last night in the mastermind, we had a really interesting discussion. It was brought up by Nick, and we were talking about just like, man, some folks really seem stuck, right? And we were unpacking what does that mean? Because the reality is life is hard, right? We're not taking anything away from that. Uh, School leadership has become incredibly complex, but we've had a minute now to for sure be thinking about how do we interact? What do we do in this context? And it's if you really think about it, it's been 2 years. So if it's been 2 years and you're still feeling stuck, you're still feeling that everything is just horrible, terrible, all that kind of stuff. Well, what's going on with you that you haven't adapted, changed, iterated, evolved as a leader, as an educator, as a human being, that you are still in that rut? Now, I don't want to take anything away from people who experience hard things, but all I'm suggesting and asserting is that mindset is everything. Like the two marketing guys in the country that's developing, seeing folks without any shoes, is the situation hopeless or is this a glorious business opportunity? You get to choose, right? You get to choose, which is an incredible, incredible thing. And the last point I want to share, and then I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to up level your mindset in 2022. Um, Let me see if I can find this here. I'm going to share my screen, and I want to show you this image. This is from the artist Liniers, right? Argentine cartoonist here, and lovely work. And Jason, so I gotta say, Migwetch, thank you, Jason, for sharing this with the mastermind last night. But look at the comic, right? What will the new year bring us? These cartoons are saying, and the animal there, whatever it is, says 365 opportunities, right? I love that so much because, again, just like the marketing guys, just like Earl Nightingale, just like every high performer knows, what you choose to see, the lens, right? The frame in which you choose to see the world is really everything. That comes down to mindset. So, here are a couple, and I see Alfonso saying good morning. So, if you're still with us, hello, hello, Alfonso. Thanks for watching. Here's 5 ways to level up your mindset in 2022. I'll go through these quick and then I'll let you go on with your day. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you today. So, number one way to level up your mindset in 2022 is just to be very critical and review the media you choose to consume. And I'm talking about, what you're watching on TV, YouTube, podcasts, books, all types of media, even the stuff that I create podcast wise, these live videos. If you don't find them uplifting, encouraging, challenging, helping you level up, then you should stop right away, right? So review the media you consume, right? You are absolutely welcome, Alfonso. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you. So that's number one, review the media that you consume. Number two, develop a personal philosophy. So this is a bit of a deeper teaching, and happy to connect on a one-on-one call or something like that. Just email me, Daniel at betterleadersbetterschools.com. Text me, 312-788-7595 if you want to set something up. But my personal philosophy is to be an intentional catalyst, right? I know that things are going to happen today, okay? I know that I'm a catalyst. So how I show up in this space, how I show up during my coaching calls, how I show up at the mastermind, how I show up with my family, it's either going to influence that environment for the positive or the negative. So every morning I recite that personal philosophy of mine, which took a while, but I drilled it down to just a handful of words. I want to be an intentional catalyst. 4 words that guides everything that I do. And Alfonso is saying, yes, you become what you consume. Absolutely right. So that's number two, develop a personal philosophy. One was review the media you consume. Number 3 of 5, when you find yourself in a negative spiral, just stop, ask yourself a very simple question. Is this the most generous perspective, generous frame, generous lens in which I can use to view this situation? If you want to see the world as half empty, you'll see the world as half empty. If you want to see the world as half full, then you will see the world as half full. And that's tip number 3. We'll move on to tip number 4 in just a second. And just want to highlight Alfonso's philosophy, which I love, to always improvise, adapt, and overcome. It is what helped me to become better each day. So that is awesome. Thank you, Alfonso, for sharing that. So number 4, you've heard the Jim Rohn quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Oh my gosh, this changed my life, right? And it's the reason why I joined Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind back in 2015. It's why I launched Masterminds for School Leaders. It's why I'm now in the ELF Mastermind, or why I work with my business coach, Ron Reich, in his 8-player mastermind. I want to be around people who want to make the world a better place, who want to serve at a higher level for those people that care about the work that you do and that kind of thing. And so I surround myself with people who are doing the same types of things. Why? Because back in 2015, in my journal, when I wrote about this dream of better leaders, better schools, guess what? Friends and family, the response was the same. It's never gonna work. Well, that's not helpful. That's not useful to me in terms of achieving the goals and the dreams that I saw. Walt Disney said, if you dream it, you can do it, which is absolutely right. But you got to do what Jim Rohn said, be very careful about your social circle because you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay, tip number 5. And this is last tip. Actually, before we get that, let's highlight Alfonso, who read my book yesterday. What? The first chapter caused him to ponder and maybe subtract probably some of the folks in the social circle. Thank you for that comment. Speaking of my book, real quick, if you go to betterleadersbetterschools.com/mastermind book, my latest book published by Corwin and AASA is available there. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you can get books, Corwin website, and so on and so forth. Okay, 5th tip about Mindset 2022, develop a gratitude practice, right? So for me, that's easy. In the morning, it's just writing down like literally 3 things I'm grateful for. So I could do this live right now, right? Grateful to be in the UK with some of my extended family. So that's been awesome. I'm grateful that Alfonso has been watching and adding comments, which I could highlight on this video. That gives me a ton of energy if you can't tell. And a third thing would be that you see this watch here. I've been doing a lot of running, and this watch really holds me accountable, helps me stay on top of things and track my runs. And the best part, if I get lost and when I get lost, there's a track back feature which will show me the routes I took out, because I love to go on just like strange routes, but sometimes I don't know how to get back home. Well, now I do because of this Garmin Fenix 6 watch, who is not a official sponsor of this video, but they should be, right? So cool. Just to review the 5, review the media you consume, develop a personal philosophy, if you find yourself in a negative mindset, ask what's the most generous way I could view this situation. 4, choose your social circles wisely. And 5, develop a gratitude practice. It's up to you, ruckus maker. Situational hopeless or glorious opportunity. In 2022, you have 365 opportunities in front of you, and I hope you make the most of them. Love you all. Go make a ruckus, and bye for now.